Good morning, everyone. Please be seated.
Well, good morning, everybody. It's my very great pleasure to welcome you here today, and in doing so, I wish to acknowledge that the campuses of the University of Sydney are located on the traditional lands of a number of Australia's First Peoples. It is with deep respect for our Indigenous past that I acknowledge the Gadigal, Gundungurra, Darug and Wangal peoples and their custodianship of these lands. This ceremony has been arranged in order to confer degrees upon and award diplomas and certificates to those who have fulfilled all the conditions required of them by the statutes of the university.
Pro-Chancellor, it gives me great pleasure to present Judith Bailey OAM to you for admission to the degree of Doctor of Music honoris causa. Judy Bailey was born in Auckland in New Zealand and grew up in the small town of Whangarei. From the age of 10, she studied the piano and completed her Associate Trinity College London performance qualification at the age of 16. Upon arriving in Sydney in 1960, Judy quickly became prominent in the Australian jazz scene, performing regularly at the famous El Rocco Jazz Club. She's maintained a busy performance schedule ever since, performing in jazz clubs and jazz festivals, both nationally and internationally. Judy's a prolific composer and has produced works in a wide variety of genres. She's recorded many CDs of her own compositions and several CDs of jazz standards. Perhaps most notably, it's within her output in cross-genre composition that her distinguished reputation is most emphasised. As recently as August this year, a double CD was released of live music that Judy has written for symphony orchestra and jazz orchestra. Judy has written several large works for soloists and jazz ensembles and orchestra, which have been performed at the Sydney Conservatorium of Music and at the Sydney Opera House. Some of the most notable are Four Reasons for Jazz Soloist and Symphony Orchestra, which was commissioned by the SBS Youth Orchestra and performed by James Morrison as a featured soloist. Two Minds, One Music, which was written for orchestra and jazz orchestra, and Unity, which was written for multiple soloists and orchestra. In addition to these major works, Judy has also commissioned by Chamber Music New Zealand to write a work for the New Zealand Trio, which she completed in 2010, called So Many Rivers, Piano Trio. As an educator, Judy has exerted considerable influence over generations of young musicians. She commenced teaching at the then New South Wales Conservatorium of Music in 1973, when the jazz program was first being implemented, and has been continuously involved at the Conservatorium ever since, teaching both undergraduate and postgraduate students. In addition to her work at the Conservatorium, Judy has also been active in youth programs. She was the founding musical director for the Sydney Youth Jazz Ensemble Association and is currently musical director and conductor of the Judy Bailey Jazz Connection Big Band. The personnel in this band are largely drawn from both past and present students of the Sydney Conservatorium Jazz Program, and they represent a cross-section of the most talented and dedicated young men and women in jazz in Australia. This is no small part thanks due to the dedication and direction that they receive directly from Judy. And it's important to note that she's also been involved in endeavours that have educated and enhanced the wider community. In 1973, Judy became resident pianist for the ABC radio program Kindergarten. I guess many of you will have experienced that like I did, which introduced music in a unique way to many young people. She also introduced music and movement programs to children in several primary schools in the Inner West. Judy's also a tireless advocate for women in music and is an active contributor to that cause. One notable example, among many, is the March 1975 Baroque to Rock concert, which was staged at the Canberra Theatre as a centrepiece for Australia's celebration of International Women's Day. Judy was pianist and musical director for this important event. The concert was built around Judy and her quartet, plus an all-female string orchestra, and featured such notable performers as Marsha Hines and Margaret Roadnight. On 3 separate occasions, Judy's quartet travelled to Southeast Asia as musical ambassadors for the Australian Government on tours by Musica Viva. Judy has received many accolades and awards, including the award for Distinguished Services to Australian Music at the Sydney Opera House as part of the Australian Classical Music Awards. This represented the first time a jazz musician has received the award. She was inducted into the Graham Bell Jazz Hall of Fame, an annual award given by Jazz Australia in recognition of her long and distinguished career as a jazz performer and artist. Judy has received the Order of Australia for services to music and education and was chosen as one of Sydney's top 100 most influential people in the Sydney Morning Herald Sydney magazine. Pro-Chancellor, I present to you Judy Bailey, OAM, for admission to the degree of Doctor of Music, honoris causa, and I invite you to confer the degree upon her.
Thank you. In the name of the Senate, and by my authority as presiding Pro-Chancellor, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Music, honoris causa.
Would all candidates please stand? Pro-Chancellor, I certify that all candidates whose names appear in the printed program have successfully completed the requirements for the degree, diploma or certificate which they are to receive.
In the name of the Senate, and by my authority as presiding Pro-Chancellor, I admit each of you present to the degree or award you the diploma or certificate to which you are entitled. Some are unable to be present today. I admit them to the degree or award them the diploma or certificate to which they are entitled in absentia.
Please be seated.
Presiding Pro-Chancellor, I present candidates from the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences who you have admitted to degrees and to whom you have awarded certificates. Degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Siti Aisha Binti Johari. Thesis entitled Malaysian Learners' Argumentative Writing in English, a Contrast Corpus-Driven Study. Janet Louise Dutton. Thesis entitled English Teachers in the Making, Portraits of Pre-Service Teachers' Journeys to Teaching. Matthew Marie Claude Galloy, thesis entitled The Aboriginal Flag. Vivian Alice Lindsley, thesis entitled Performer Process in the Live Act, Interactive Experiments in the Audience-Performer Relationship. Markella Margaret Panagru, thesis entitled The Scream, a Very Particular Traumatic Tradition. Ian Gianni Frederick Wise, thesis entitled Paranoid Fixations, Art and Political Discourses Since 9/11. Degree of Master of Fine Arts, Kate Elizabeth Brown. Susan Chen. Claire Elizabeth Conroy. Amy Elizabeth Dynan. Angela Isabel Garrick. Nicola Dorothy Morton. Degree of Master of Contemporary Art, Amanda Bentley. John G. Lee. Degree of Master of Human Rights, Keelan Charlotte MacDonald. Degree of Master of International Relations, Yang Shang Ying. Degree of Master of Moving Image, Zhao Li Gai. Wen Chil Young. Jianan Zhang. Degrees of Bachelor of Arts Honours Class 1 and Bachelor of Commerce, Kip Michael Maddox. Degrees of Bachelor of Arts Honours Class 2, Division 2 and Bachelor of Science, Shi Win Wen Di Zhang. Degree of Bachelor of Arts Honours Class 1, Elila Quen Don Klibkon. Degree of Bachelor of Arts, Sashu Kate Landis. Degrees of Bachelor of Education, Secondary Education Science and Bachelor of Science, Ezzy Ozdemer. Nope. Degree of Bachelor of International and Global Studies, Scott Mitchell Evers. Degree of Bachelor of Visual Arts, Sarah Chang. Yumi Sarah Go. Jacqueline Ann Longhurst. Histrina Metrevka-Skar. Tanya Murphy. Jake John Parkinson. Charlie Tiu. Bryony Patricia Williamson. Presiding Pro-Chancellor, I present the following candidates who have been admitted to a degree previously. Degree of Executive Master of Arts and Social Sciences, Juan Pablo Federico Casas. Degree of Master of Moving Image, Rong Tan. Thank you, Presiding Pro-Chancellor. That concludes the presentation of graduates for the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences. Presiding Pro-Chancellor, I present candidates from the Faculty of Dentistry who you have admitted to degrees, the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Simon Alexander Dingsdang, thesis entitled Metabolism of Tetrapomorphin nitromethylidole adduct by gastrointestinal bacteria. Degree of Master of Philosophy, Isabel Teresa Sandoval Herrera. Antonia Marie Scott. Amelita Simpson. Thank you, Presiding Pro-Chancellor. That concludes the presentation of graduates for the Faculty of Dentistry. Presiding Pro-Chancellor, I present candidates from the Faculty of Engineering and Information Technology who you have committed to degrees, Doctor of Philosophy, Annabelle Helen Chan, thesis entitled Rapid Fabrication of Patient-Specific Implants for Soft and Hard Tissue Replacement. Tui Pham, thesis entitled Automated Classification for Biomedical Data, Machine Learning Approaches for Subject-Independent Settings. Troy Daniel Wilson, thesis entitled Adaptive Sampling for Efficient Online Modelling. Presiding Pro-Chancellor, I present the following candidate who has been admitted to a degree previously, degree of Bachelor of Computer Science and Technologist, Aldis Joseph Scalis. Thank you, Presiding Pro-Chancellor. That concludes the presentation of graduates for the Faculty of Engineering and Information Technologies. Presiding Pro-Chancellor, I present candidates from the Faculty of Health Sciences whom you have admitted to degrees, degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Rebecca Lee Cook, thesis entitled Cognition, Mental Health and Quality of Life in Young Women, Relationships with Obesity, Nutrition and Physical Activity. Susan Elizabeth Lucas-Smith, thesis entitled A Taxonomy of Case Management, Development, Dissemination and Impact. Degree of Bachelor of Applied Science, Exercise Physiology, Ricky Lee. Degree of Bachelor of Health Sciences, Samantha Fung Yi. Thank you, Presiding Pro-Chancellor. That concludes the presentation of graduates for the Faculty of Health Sciences. Presiding Pro-Chancellor, I present candidates from the Faculty of Pharmacy whom you have admitted to the degrees of Doctor of Philosophy, Timothy Stewart Garrett, thesis entitled Factors Influencing Hospital Pharmacists' Reporting of Medication Edit Errors. Deanne Miu Tran, degree of Bachelor of Pharmacy, Deanne Ann Miu Tran. Presiding Pro-Chancellor, I present the following candidate who has been admitted to a degree previously. Degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Ho Jun Lee. Thesis entitled Identification of Subunit Interfaces of 4,3 GABAA receptors that affect GABA and THIP potency. Thank you, Presiding Pro-Chancellor. That concludes the presentations of graduates for the Faculty of Pharmacy. Presiding Pro-Chancellor, I present candidates from the Faculty of Science who you have admitted to degrees. Degree of Doctor of Philosophy and Doctor of Clinical Psychology, Elizabeth Chernovsky, thesis entitled Emotion and Regulation of Social Adjustment in Adolescents and Adults, the Role of Suppression and Reappraisal. Melissa Deanne Notel, thesis entitled Compulsive Exercise in Adolescents with Anorexia Nervosa. Sarah Emma Watts, thesis entitled Investigating Maternal Psychological Distress, Caregiving Practices and Child Development in Kenya. Degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Johan Rox Rustrum Kaingar, thesis entitled Multifunctional Cyanide Bridge Coordination Framework Materials Incorporating Ruthenium. Adriano Francesco Pavan, thesis entitled Investigations into Li and Na metal oxide carbon capture materials at high temperatures. Rebecca Janet Thistlethwaite, thesis entitled Identification of Generic Variation in Heat Stress, Genotype Screening for and Mechanisms of Tolerance in Wheat. Degrees of Doctor of Clinical Psychology and Master of Science, Aspia Zoe Kara-George. Kai Ying Xing. Degree of Master of Medical Physics, Natasha Elizabeth Morton. Degree of Bachelor of Medical Science, Honours Class 1, Terence Chun Xing Wong. Degree of Bachelor of Medical Science, Anurag Poharel. Degree of Bachelor of Liberal Arts and Science, Jennifer Light. Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts, Rachel Jill Dorsetor. Degree of Bachelor of Science, Amy Kate Kennett. Thank you, Presiding Pro-Chancellor. That concludes the presentation of graduates for the Faculty of Science. Presiding Pro-Chancellor, I present candidates from the University of Sydney School of Architecture, Design and Planning, who you have admitted to the degrees. Degree of Master of Architecture, Paulo Apostolos Apostolides. Degree of Bachelor of Design in Architecture, Simon Mandick. Presiding Pro-Chancellor, I present the following candidate who has been admitted to a degree previously: Doctor of Philosophy, Andrew Craig Rusak. thesis entitled A Framework for Presenting Energy Efficiency Feedback to Operators of Buildings. Thank you, Presiding Pro-Chancellor. That concludes the presentation of graduates for the University of Sydney School of Architecture, Design and Planning. I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate, and this is on behalf of all the faculties of graduating students, that we wish you the best in your future careers. Thank you.
Presiding Pro-Chancellor, I present candidates from the University of Sydney Business School whom you have admitted to degrees. Degree of Executive Master of Business Administration, David Noel Ballantyne. Stephen Roderick Callaghan Blunt. Timothy David Bowden. Drew Garrett Bradford. Peter Clary Castrician. Stephen Michael Coop. Rowan James Courtney O'Connor. Daniel Dewin. Frederick Docking. Robert Grant Draper. Terence Koo. Nicholas Nyanjom Kwendu. Kane Michael Van Ransley. Damian Glenn Robbins. Linda Elizabeth Rudd. Anna Louise Elliott Spear. Ian Matthew Peter Spirit Jones. Anurag Vasistha. Laura Isabel Wooden. For the degree Master of Commerce, Tao Ki. For the degree of Masters of Logistics and Supply Chain Management, Sharon Jacob. For the degrees Bachelor of Commerce and Bachelor of Arts, Anna Jean Holden. For the degree of Bachelor of Commerce, Charles Zhang. Presiding Pro-Chancellor, I present the following candidates who have been admitted to a degree previously. Degree of Bachelor of Commerce and Bachelor of Arts, Jonah Prima Vogelman. Thank you, Presiding Pro-Chancellor. That concludes the presentation of graduates from the University of Sydney Business School. And I'd also like to take an opportunity to offer a heartfelt congratulations to those of you sitting here today. I know you have definitely mastered the domain knowledge that you were supposed to, or you wouldn't be here today. But I also hope that you learned a few other things, that you discovered a bit about yourself, that you maintain that curiosity, or that hopefully we have instilled even more curiosity in you, so you are not ending being a student today, that you continue to learn throughout your life. I just wanted to hope, I guess, that what we've also instilled in you is a real sense of the responsibility you have now when you behave and make decisions moving forward, because a better society and a better community is made one decision at a time. Finally, I wanted to thank your family and friends and other supporters. None of you are here alone, so thank you very much.
Presiding Pro-Chancellor, I present candidates from the University of Sydney Nursing School whom you have admitted to degrees and to whom you have awarded diplomas and certificates. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Tara Jane Flemington, for a thesis entitled improving the recognition and response to child abuse and neglect in a Vietnamese emergency department, a capacity-building intervention for healthcare professionals. Belinda Karen Judd for a thesis entitled A Comparison of the Simulation and Clinical Environments in Physiotherapy Education. The degree of Master of Philosophy, Kirsty Lynn Dodds. The degree of Master of Advanced Nursing Practice, Noura El-Sagir. Teha Bahadur Pun. Alison Lijin Wong. The degree of Master of Cancer and Haematology Nursing, Paula Bianca de Vega. Peter Cherie Parter. No. Anthony Pearl Go. Biljana Vanovic. Sarah Lorraine Weiss. The degree of Master of Clinical Nursing, Joyanne Gutierrez. Perea Helotu Talia Tueo Natoa. Catherine Helen Wykes. The degree of Master of Emergency Nursing, Angela Therese Duncan. Nadia Andrea Marquez. The degree of Master of Intensive Care Nursing, Stella Lobo. Helen Olivia Mary White. The degree of Master of Mental Health Nursing, David John Baird. Dante Giacomin. Amanda Marie Honeybell. Chuk Yi Cherry Sang. Graduate Certificate in Cancer and Haematology Nursing, Natalie de Casa Pellerin. The degree of Bachelor of Nursing Advanced Studies, Harley Wang. Presiding Pro-Chancellor, I present the following candidate who has been admitted to a degree previously. The degree of Bachelor of Nursing Honours, Class 2, Division 1, Wu Mingwei Jeffrey. Thank you, Presiding Pro-Chancellor. That concludes the presentation of graduates for the University of Sydney Nursing School, and I also would like to offer my warmest congratulations to all of the graduates here today, and have a lovely day with your family and friends.
Presiding Pro-Chancellor, I present the candidates from the Sydney Conservatorium of Music, whom you have admitted to degrees and to whom you have awarded diplomas. Cornelia Perci, with the degree of Doctor of Musical Arts, with a thesis entitled Historical Recordings of Bartok's Folk Song Arrangements 1928, Variations of Performance Practice with Striking Surprises. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Michelle Karen Ben, for a thesis entitled Identity and Community, a qualitative study of specialist primary music teachers in New South Wales, Australia. Christine Leanne Carroll, with a thesis entitled Playing the Field, an Australian case study of student popular musicians' informal learning in senior secondary classroom music education. Philip Andrew Eames for a thesis entitled Whose Line Is It Anyway? Untamed Polyphony in Percy Granger's Marching Song of Democracy Sketches. Michael Gerardus Maria Koenders for a thesis entitled From Music Information Retrieval, MIR, to Information Retrieval for Music, IRM. Peter Phillips for a thesis entitled Piano Roles and Contemporary Player Pianos, the Catalogues, Technologies, Archiving and Accessibility. Madeline Susan Rutherford for a thesis entitled A Piano Which Stays Open, Music, Homeschooling and Family Flourishing. For the degree of Master of Music Composition, Rowan John Fox. For the degree of Master of Music Musicology, Dennis Marvin Dorick. Gillian Margaret Twigger. For the degree of Master of Music Performance, Alyssa Yuko Bernard. Xi Xingzhong. David Beloroshko. Douglas Robert Ross. For the degree of Master of Music Studies Composition, Catherine Margaret Grant Reid. For the degree of Master of Music Studies Performance, Hua Yifu. Lu Guo. Alexandra Kate Thompson. Liam Blake-Tooth. Pei Shu. For the degree of Bachelor of Music Composition, Elizabeth Chicklin. For the degree of Bachelor of Music Performance, Honours Class 1, Kimberly Rebecca Scriven. For the degree of Bachelor of Music Performance, Benjamin Shu Yu He. Ji Hyun Kim. Matthew Harold Salidis. Li Shen Sherry Won. For the degree of Bachelor of Music Studies Honours Class 1, Isabella Manila Beatrice Chloe Angelo Faulkner. For the degree of Bachelor of Music Studies Honours Class 2 Division 1, Yunyi Callista Yo. Oh, okay. For the degree of Bachelor of Music Studies, Benjamin George Harris. Ju Hong Min. Benjamin Leonard Samuels. For the degree of Master of Applied Science, Natalie Ann Hammam. For the degree of Master of Contemporary Art, Caroline Tilly Lees. For the degree of Master of Advanced Nursing Practice, Pawana Jurasombat. For the degree of Master of Emergency Nursing, Brooke Page Panton. For the degree of Master of Cancer and Haematology Nursing, Natalie Sarah Osborne. For the degree of Bachelor of Science, Shaiza Singh. For the degree of Master of Music Studies Performance, Liang Sigu. For the degree, the Graduate Certificate in Cancer and Haematology Nursing, Mary Rose Birch. Degree of Bachelor of Nursing Advanced Studies, Pei Liu. For the degree of Master of Emergency Nursing, He Zhong Zhong. For the degree Bachelor of Commerce, Hamish Christopher Burt. For the Bachelor of Music Studies, Nicole Hond. For the degree of Master of Business Administration, Harley Frankfurt. No, my apologies. Degree of Bachelor of Commerce Liberal Studies, Honours Class 1, Devansh Govil. My apologies. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, with a thesis entitled The Absurd Beyond Mannerism. Oh, sorry, The Absurd Beyond Modernism. Paul Francis Mum. For the degree of Master of Moving Image, J.E. Lee. Bingrong Shu. Thank you, Presiding Pro-Chancellor. This concludes the presentation of graduates from this ceremony. It gives me enormous delight and pleasure to see graduates walk across the stage, especially so the ones from the Conservatorium. But the thing that we all have in common is that now that you have a body of real knowledge about your particular discipline, now is the time to take that out into the world and make something of your understanding of your discipline for other people. This is the challenge. Make a good go of what you've learned for other people. Because we've had such a wonderful Conservatorium event today, we're going to continue with some music. So we have two of our graduates performing. They are Alexandra and Benjamin, and they will make their way to the stage. And on their way, Benjamin will tell us what they're going to play. Thank you.
We'll be playing Brahms' Clarinet Sonata, number 1, movement 1. Thank you.
Thank you, Alexandra and Benjamin. Ladies and gentlemen, the university takes its research achievements very seriously. In recognition of their achievements in research, would those who have been admitted today to doctoral degrees please stand? I would now like to invite members of the academic procession to stand and to join me in saluting our newest doctoral graduates.
Well, what a privilege at a graduation ceremony to hear a musical performance of that quality. I'd like to congratulate and thank Alexandra and Benjamin for their wonderful playing just now. Would you join with me in congratulating them again? And although I've congratulated each and every one of the graduates here today, I'd like to say, on behalf of the university, our congratulations for your achievement. Many of you, of course, have taken higher degrees today, and those higher degrees exact a toll on people's personal lives while they're happening. I think my husband almost divorced me several times when I was revising my master's thesis. But we managed both to retrieve the marriage and the degree. So I would like the graduates now just to thank those people who've supported them through all these years of study and effort and commitment to learning. So would you join with me, graduates, in thanking your families? It's been a very special graduation ceremony today because it's ranged over so many different faculties, and we've had science and pharmacy, architecture, though I note that the only graduate wearing a bow tie was not an architect. And we've had arts and social sciences and dentistry and engineering and health sciences and the business school and the nursing school and the Sydney Conservatorium of Music. And of course, we've also had the opportunity to confer an honorary degree on Judy Bailey, who is one of Australia's living treasures in music. I'll just say a few words about music. It's a great, and the arts in general. It's a great pleasure for me to confer degrees upon people who heroically are embarking upon lives in the performing arts. We tend not to value those areas of understanding, or indeed of other creative arts, as much as perhaps we should. And with one graduate, I said that I had been reading recently, as I'm an educator, I'm a high school principal in my other role. I'd been reading recently of a disadvantaged primary school in the UK, where children were performing very, very badly. And the school decided to do something about it. They didn't give the children more tests of the NAPLAN kind, thank heavens. They didn't involve them in more sitting down and learning in a stifling environment. They introduced 6 hours of music into the school week. And over the course of a year, they saw the children's engagement and their love of learning and their results just soar. And I thought a couple of things while I was thinking of that. I think it would be very nice, though the university will probably have a fit about this, it would be very nice if we had a musical performance for every graduation ceremony, even the very long ones, where you have 250 graduates. And it is something that we should remember, that music and art and reading and so on play such an important part in our lives. Education is about the whole person. It's not about just a bit. It's not about the maths arm or the engineering foot or the history, whatever history has as part of its anatomy. It is about the whole person, and the whole purpose of a university, if you think it, is to introduce you university. It is to give you a whole range of understandings and skills and interests, and is to build on those things that you bring with you to university. That starts right back in the home before children go to school. It should continue in schooling, and it should continue after schooling. When we invest in the arts, and we invest also, of course, in things like science and research, such interesting topics these theses covered, we are investing in a strong society, a rich society, and one that works to the benefit of all its people. We narrow the focus, we lose that positive element of the whole human being. And that's what university education is about. It's about developing the whole person, valuing people's dignity as human beings. Part of that dignity comes from the creative side of our being. That creative side can manifest itself in many ways. That leads me, of course, to talk a little bit, to introduce Judy Bailey, who is going to give our address today. You've heard in that wonderful speech before all the things that she has done, and the recognition that she's had over time for her contribution to Australia's cultural life. It's been a very important contribution as a performer, as a composer, as a teacher, and as someone who's energised the community to think about music. And I, of course, am particularly moved by her work with young people, because when we bring music and we bring those understandings to young people, they carry those things through their lives with them. So much music means a great deal to me personally, and I first encountered music at home at a time when we didn't have any record player at home. My parents didn't have that. But then at school, where a gifted music teacher was able to carry generations of children into a love of music. It's remained with me deeply all my life, just as my art teacher in high school gave me the knowledge base for my understanding of art. Judy has contributed to the music education of our young people. In doing so, she has contributed enormously to our civil society. And so on that note, I would like to present to you Judy Bailey, OAM, and I should say Dr. Judy Bailey, OAM, to give her address. And what a privilege to have her here today with us. Please welcome Judy Bailey to the rostrum.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, is that okay? Yeah, thank you. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the presiding officer and Pro-Chancellor, Mrs. Dorothy Hodnott. And I particularly would like to thank Dorothy for her wise words that you've just heard. Thank you, Dorothy. I would also like to acknowledge the presenting deans and the members of faculties and the graduates and their families and friends. This is certainly a most special day. It marks the end of a period of hard work, capped off with wonderful achievement. And graduates, you're about to enter a new phase. You all deserve the heartiest of congratulations, so let's hear it one more time for the graduates. Thank you. And yes, you're about to enter a new phase, a new chapter in the story of your life. By the way, I must say, I actually did write a speech, but when it came to it, I felt that I'd rather just talk to you all, just have a bit of a chat, as it were. Now, some of you will have made decisions, firm decisions about your chosen career path. But certainly there'll be those amongst you also who are still trying to decide. And that's fine. Take as long as you need. Some of you will find that you eventually are propelled into careers that maybe haven't even been invented yet. And that's that's an amazing thought, I think, but it's true. So, to be able to remain open-minded and be willing to give serious thought to all of the pretty well endless possibilities that exist. Now, I could say all those usual things that you have all heard many times. But I think that there are basically two things that I'd really like to stress here, and that is certainly work hard. Strive to do the very, very best that you can with whatever you're doing. But don't forget to leave time and room to have some fun. It's really important to try and keep a balanced perspective on everything in life. Things are going to go wrong from time to time. We're humans. What is that saying? We're imperfect beings living in an imperfect world. That's the way it is. But you learn to roll with the punches, as it is, as it were, and you make the most of learning as you go along. As I said before, try and keep an open mind and try and stay alertly focused on everything that you do, everything that you think, everything that you say, and everything that you're listening to. To be able to develop the art of being able to maintain what I like to call alert focus. That's a really, really helpful, useful, valuable skill to have in your life. It's important that we all really, truly value these lives with which we've been blessed. Life is sacrosanct. Let's all try to use it wisely. And just another little reminder. Try to be as kind as you possibly can to yourself and, of course, to others. Thank you for your patience. And if I may, I'd like to leave you to go and have wonderful celebrations. I'd like to leave you with a quote from the iconic Paul Hogan. Some years ago, he's on stage at an awards ceremony. Gee, these robes are heavy. Whoa, it's very hot. Yes, okay. Paul Hogan on stage, awards ceremony. And there's a little bit of toing and froing goes on, and then he says, always remember when you're in this sort of situation, remember the 3 G's. Be grateful, be gracious, and get off. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the University, I'd like to thank Ms. Bailey for what we must describe as an inspirational chat. Well, the formal part of the proceedings have now been completed. The academic procession is about to leave the Great Hall. The new graduates are invited to join the procession. I'd be grateful if all guests would remain in their places until the procession has left the Great Hall. Would you all please rise for the academic procession?